Have you ever stared at your bank account at 2 a.m., wondering, where did all my money go? Whether you're 22 or 52, that knot in your stomach, that creeping fear that you're behind, feels the same. But here's the truth that almost no one tells you. Your financial strategy should change dramatically with every decade of your life. If you're applying your 20s money habits in your 40s, you could be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars and never even realize it. If you're cruising through your 30s without a plan, you might be setting yourself up for 50s regret that you can't undo. In this masterclass, I'll show you exactly what to do with your money. At every stage of life. Not theory, not generic tips. This is the real-world playbook that works in New York and Berlin, Sydney and Toronto, London and beyond. You're about to discover the ultimate financial roadmap for your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, backed by data, examples, and strategies used by people who actually build wealth. Because managing money in Manhattan is not the same as doing it in rural Ohio. The cost of living gap between Berlin and Munich, or London and Leeds, or Sydney and Perth can make or break your savings rate. And here's the kicker. Most people don't fail financially because of one catastrophic decision. They fail because of 1,000 tiny decisions, decade after decade. And by the time they realize it, they've missed out on millions in compound growth. This video is the playbook to prevent that. Apply it, decade by decade, and your future self won't just thank you, they'll be wealthier, freer, and more secure than you ever imagined. Your 20s, the secret financial superpower decade. You've probably heard this cliche. Your 20s are for living life, figuring things out. Money can wait. That advice? It's financially dangerous. Your 20s aren't about guessing. They're about building the foundation that will give you decades of freedom later. Here's the cold, hard truth. If you start late, you'll always be playing catch-up. But start early, even with small amounts, and you unlock the magic of compounding that the wealthy have been exploiting for centuries. Average income reality check in your 20s. Depending on where you live, your income might feel small, but don't underestimate it. US, approximately $45,000 per year. Canada, approximately $42,000 per year. Australia, approximately $55,000 per year. Germany, approximately $35,000 per year. UK, 35,000 to 40,000 pounds. Not life-changing numbers? Maybe not. But here's the secret. Your money habits matter more than your income level right now. The most common lie young adults tell themselves is, I'll save when I earn more. But if you can't manage $100, you won't magically manage $1,000 or $10,000. Your 20s goal? Lock in 3 wealth-building habits: emergency fund, your financial armor, debt elimination, slay the wealth killers, consistent investing, even if it's just $10 a month. The 30% savings rule. Yes, even on a modest income. Most experts preach, save 10 to 20%. I say, push for 30%. Let's do the math. You earn $45,000 per year in the US. After taxes, that's about $34,000 take home. If you adopt a lean lifestyle for 2 to 3 years, think roommates, home-cooked meals, used car, public transit, you can bank $10,000 per year or more. Live like a college student a little longer. Avoid the Instagram lifestyle trap. Build a foundation that puts you ahead of 99% of your peers. Even in high-cost cities like New York City or San Francisco, you can hit 20 to 25% savings with intentional housing and lifestyle choices. In lower-cost regions, 40% savings rates are possible. Emergency fund equals freedom fund. Your emergency fund is not optional, it's your shield against desperation. Target 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a high-yield savings account. In the US, that's between $8,000 to $15,000. In Germany or the UK, where social safety nets exist, you might get by with 3 months of expenses. But no matter where you live, don't skip it. This fund protects you from job loss, medical bills, sudden car or home expenses, falling into credit card debt traps. Slay high-interest debt. Like your life depends on it. Debt with interest rates over 6 to 7% is a wealth killer. If you owe $20,000 at 6%, that's $1,200 per year just in interest. Money that buys you nothing. Attack debt relentlessly. Use the debt avalanche. Highest interest rate first. Or debt snowball. Smallest balance first for psychological wins. Whichever works for you, just don't ignore it. Debt robs your future freedom. Invest early, even small. The $300,000 secret. Here's where most people make a tragic mistake: waiting to invest. They think, I'll start when I have more money. But if you invest just $200 per month starting at 25, with a modest 7% return, you'll have $500,000 plus by age 65. Start at 35 instead, you'll only have $250,000. That 10-year delay cost you $300,000. That's the power of compounding. And why your 20s are your secret financial superpower decade. Use tax-advantaged accounts. They're government-backed wealth machines. Depending on where you live, take full advantage of these. US 401k, Roth IRA. Canada RRSP, TFSA. Australia superannuation. Germany Riester and Rurup pensions. UK ISAs, workplace pensions. These accounts aren't savings accounts. They're legal tax shelters designed to make you rich if you start early. Your 30s. Growth versus temptation. Welcome to your 30s, where income rises, and so does temptation. Marriage, kids, mortgage, vacations. I deserve this spending. This is the decade where many people derail their financial future, not because they don't earn enough, but because they spend everything they earn. Average income in your 30s. US, approximately $65,000. Canada, approximately $58,000. Australia, $70,000. Germany, $55,000. UK, £45,000. If your income hasn't grown at least 20% since your late 20s, it's time for a career audit. Upskill. Switch jobs. Negotiate aggressively. Consider side hustles or entrepreneurship. Your income trajectory matters more in your 30s than any other decade. What wealthy people do differently in their 30s? Resist lifestyle inflation. They keep expenses flat while income rises. Increase investments as income grows. Every raise equals bigger automatic contributions. Automate everything. Bills, savings, and investments. No, oops, I forgot. Leverage income strategically. Build passive income streams. Rental properties, index funds, dividends. Renting versus buying. Run the math, not your emotions. Buying a home feels like the adult thing to do. But in Toronto, London, Sydney, and other expensive cities, you might be better off renting. Factor in mortgage interest, property taxes, maintenance costs, lost investment growth if your down payment sat in an index fund instead. If buying makes you house poor, it's not an investment, it's a financial prison. Your 40s. Pressure plus power. Your 40s are the decade of leverage. You earn more, you carry more obligations, and if you play it right, you have the highest opportunity to accelerate wealth before retirement. Average income reality check. Useful mental anchor. US, approximately $80,000. Canada, approximately $70,000. Australia, $85,000. Germany, $65,000. UK, £55,000. These are averages. You may be above or below, but the theme is the same. More income, more options, more responsibility. The big priorities. Save aggressively. Aim for 25% plus of gross income if possible. This sounds harsh, but the math is merciless. To preserve lifestyle and avoid being asset poor, you need a sustained high savings rate now. Prioritize retirement over everything else that can be borrowed. Your kids can take student loans. You can't borrow retirement. If forced to choose, fund your future first. Eliminate high-cost debt, especially credit cards and personal loans. Mortgage? Keep it if the interest is low and tax-efficient, but reduce other consumer debt ruthlessly. Protect who you are, your income. Get disability insurance and consider term life insurance sized to cover dependents and liabilities. A single income disruption can derail an entire decade's plan. Your 50s. Final course. Correction. Your 50s are the last major runway to retirement. Think of it as your final sprint and your last opportunity to correct course. And yes, 10 to 15 focused years can change everything. Financial reality in your 50s. Incomes may plateau, but obligations often fall. Kids leave, mortgages shrink. This creates a chance to supercharge savings. Many retirement decisions made in this decade are irreversible. When to claim state pension/Social Security, when to convert tax status, when to sell a business or rental portfolio. Here's the emotional truth. Money is a tool for freedom, not the goal itself. The decades are the map. Your actions are the path. Start early, be relentless in your 30s, aggressive and disciplined in your 40s, and surgical in your 50s. Compound time is your ally, but it rewards consistency, prudence, and courage. If this roadmap lit a fire, do one small, decisive thing right now. Open your bank apps and set one automated transfer that will never be touched except for investing. That tiny habit, repeated daily, will change your life. If you found this useful, subscribe to Finance Facts for weekly, no-fluff guides on living richer and smarter.